Ah, that was the best night's sleep I've ever had in some time. I hope the two of you enjoyed your stay as well. I know I did. I'm feeling very refreshed, thank you. Refreshed enough to feel ready to take on a new position in a new environment, even. Then, I would like to accept your offer. However, I have one condition for doing so. Oh, name it. While I am willing to join the President's new agency, I'm not willing to stop living in line with my own beliefs. As such, if I should end up feeling the slightest doubt about how the agency itself is being run, I will do everything in my power to correct it from inside using any means at my disposal. If he still wants my membership after hearing as much, please tell him I accept his offer. That won't be a problem at all. I think he may well be encouraging you to take to the reins. I believe he chose you expecting you to fulfill that role should it be deemed necessary. After all you have experienced in the guild and an organization which has managed to remain neutral and independent all this time. That's no man's feat. Haha, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Also, I'll need to get things ready for my successor, so I won't be able to return to Calvar for 2 or 3 months. As such, I won't be able to start work till then. That's perfectly understandable. I look forward to meeting you again in the Republic. Likewise. Something on your mind? I was just thinking about what you said back there. You said you'll need 2 or 3 months to get everything ready for your successor, right? Yeah, I did. What of it? Well, while I'm guessing it's pretty busy over in Calvar right now too, it doesn't sound as though there's anything so urgent I need to be there now. So I was thinking maybe I could stay here for the next few months while you get things sorted out before I head back. You can't be serious. There's no reason why you should stay around here in Lebro with me. Go back to Calvar. You don't have to be so cold. It's me, you know. Well, it's the truth. We'll end up spending enough time together whether we like it or not after I'm home. You don't need to go out of your way to make more now. Well... you win. There's no need to rush things. Zin, what are you standing there for? Oh. Sorry. You could say that before starting to walk off on your own, though. How nice. Is that the end? That was neat. Neat little yin yang. I remember that quartz from SC. Neat little Kilika Zin moment. Okay, I got yin yang. How do I? That gives me like a lot of water. Oh yeah, water and this. Oof, baby. Also, you get such good quartz for doing these doors. That's another reason I just gotta do these doors. You get such good rewards. I am probably going to take maybe this attack 2 for Yin Yang. Yeah, for now it's fine. Okay, let me do a recount here. We did this one. We have to. I'm assuming we come back with Agate, and this one continues. I don't know the dancer with silver locks. I'm guessing it's Shara because she was part of the troupe. I do not know who the Pure White Radiance and Proof of Scholarship. Chat, who are these 2 doors? Moon Door 2 and Moon Door 3. Just tell me who they are. I have no idea. This one I'm sure is Shara, and I just want to know if I'm right. This one, I have no idea, other than, like, Chloe, maybe? I'd rather chat just tell me the doors, because I might just end up looking them up if I don't know them. This we did, it's Julia. This we need to do 100 battles. We could see if that one's available, maybe. This one was Chloe and Joshua. This one was Zin, we did just now. In Josette's, this is Estelle. This is obviously Estelle's. This is, we did. Alright, let me see if I can do this one then. The one with 100 battles. Before moving on to story. I don't think there's a way to see if I did 100 battles or not. Okay, we did 100 battles. Perfect. Let's see what this one's about. Who's this gonna focus on, though? It's a star door. Star doors are like the stories. Who's this gonna focus on if it's just 100 battles? I shall grant you a memory fragment, yada yada. Moondor 3 is Chloe. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know who else would fit that. Is Moondor 2 Shara? If not, who's Moondor 2? Enclosed is a report on the damage dealt to the former Principality of Northumbria by Assault Pale. Also contained within is research on the Pale itself. Holy City of Arteria, Congregation for the Sacraments. I have to read here. Reese Argent. I hereby present this report to you, your holiness, ever at the side of the goddess. This report contains classified information and may only be read by those with the clearance to do so. Certain sections of the utmost secrecy have also been blacked out. Progression of events after the Pale's appearance. July 1st, 1178, 5:45 a.m. An urgent report came in from the Haliask Cathedral in the then Principality, now estate of Northumbria in northern Zemeria. Northumbria sounds really familiar. Was Northumbria brought up in like a Cold Steel game, Cold Steel 1 or 2? It sounds very familiar. It stated that a giant white pillar so tall it appears to kiss the clouds had appeared in the outskirts of the city. Bishop Alexei, the one who sent the report, behaved as if extremely unsettled by what was happening. By urgent order of the committee, 2 knights of the Grosshooter, the 8th Dominion, aka the Roaring Lion, and a squire, both of whom were working on another mission in a nearby nation, were dispatched to perform a formal investigation. They hurried to the scene via the 8th Merkabah unit. Please note the Merkabahs had only recently been put into use. They arrived promptly. And at 6:22 a.m., this was what they saw. Enclosed is a photograph of an object now known as the Salt Pale. Is this door just lore? Is this the whole door, like just getting some lore? I guess we'll see. At this point, however, it was far larger than the term pale would suggest. It was more akin to a massive tower that stored hundreds of argent in air. The 2 knights provided the following observation regarding the situation on their arrival. We were met with a mighty hailstorm blowing in our direction from Haliask, or so it appeared at first, till we eventually realized the storm contained not ice but salt. Oh my word, something in my throat. So much reading. We're not gonna do, depending on how much time we have after this, I'm not doing Chloe's door right now because I've been reading so much. I want to like move on the game and do more gameplay. We'll probably start with Chloe's moon door next stream. The object's surface is completely covered with salt, making it impossible to tell what it might actually look like underneath. The surrounding air has become powder salt and falls to the ground like snow falling on a tundra. Spread of the selenification process was startlingly rapid. Startlingly rapid, and the affected area spread in the blink of an eye. By the time the Grosshooter arrived, the entire landscape of the capital had turned to salt, and the lives of many who lived there, like the aforementioned Bishop Alexei, had already been lost. Yet the spread did not stop there. A day after the Salt Pale appeared, a vast coniferous forest zone north of the capital crystallized and collapsed. Bridges also collapsed, rendering all the main highways out of the city unusable. Please note by this point, then ruler Prince Balmond had already fled the country to a nearby nation. 2 days passed since the Pale's appearance. By this point, roughly half the entire principality had become a sea of salt. Countless refugees had fled to the southern side of the country because the River Greve stood between it and the affected area. Finally, 3 days after the Pale's appearance, the selenification process stopped at dawn. As a result, knights were able to advance on capital of Haliask with the hope of investigating the Salt Pale. That afternoon, they finally reached it. But what they found looked completely different from how the Pale had been before when they first arrived in Northumbria. My word, why do you have a whole door dedicated to this? Seems a little unnecessary. In the center of the selenified area, they found an object that was a mere 2.5 argent height. Its surface was no longer blanketed in salt, rather it looked as if something had been carved out of it. It's now believed that the Pale's mass decreased as the selenification process progressed. In its smaller state, the Pale had lost its power to turn swaths of the country to salt, but its ability to salinify was still very much intact. Anything that touched it, even for a millisecond, was instantaneously turned into salt. It was of the utmost importance to handle it with care. In order to complete the mission without physical contact, the Grosshooter required the use of the sacred tool, Glepnir, which was delivered to them from the High Seat in Arteria. Since then, it's been kept closely sealed away deep within the High Seat of Arteria. Still, while the recovery mission was ultimately deemed a success, the damage already caused was equally vast and significant. No damage to the surrounding nations was reported, but it resulted in the destruction of the three of the five administrative districts of the principality, including its capital. Over a third of the total population, along with travelers from elsewhere, lost their lives. This is to say nothing of the emotional damage caused. Due to its sudden outbreak, the hearts of Norambria's people were overwhelmed with fear and uncertainty. From a humanitarian and religious perspective, a swift response from the Septian Church was all but necessary. Decision was made to dispatch personnel to the region right away. Upon arrival, they set about rebuilding the damaged churches and healing both the physical and mental wounds of the people. Those who were left orphaned in the crisis were taken into gospel facilities, where they would be cared for until adulthood. The northern region of the country, which had been turned entirely to salt, was placed under the church's control. It has been a restricted area ever since. Oh my word, how long does this go? Supplementary notes. After some time, the country's former leader, Prince Balamut, attempted to rebuild the government, but given that he had fled the country during its hour of need, caring only for himself and not his people, all authority he once had was gone. The following year, the country's people led an armed uprising and Principality of Norambria was no more. I'm sure this will be relevant later in the Trails universe, maybe. Maybe this will, like, come back to us, because Norambria, I'm pretty sure, was mentioned in Cold Steel 2, if I'm not mistaken, and we haven't been to Norambria. Eventually, elections were held, and the country became a democracy, thus bringing about the birth of the autonomous state we now know of. This was also when the former Principality's armed forces were formed as a vigilante corps. Given the extreme poverty of the state, however, the majority of said corps considered gathered foreign currency to be of the utmost importance. This was how the large-scale Jaeger Corps known as the Northern Jaegers was first established. Northern Jaegers sounds very familiar. Wasn't that like part of what Sarah was part of the Northern Jaegers or something? I think. Sarah was a Jaeger, I'm pretty sure. Or a Bracer, something. It's been too long since I played Cold Steel 1 and 2. As far as the rest of Zemeria is concerned, this is where the tale of the Salt Pail ends. But a number of very important questions still remain unanswered. Perhaps the most obvious of these is where it came from. Despite the considerable size of the object and that it appeared in the outskirts of a populated city, no information is available regarding the moment it appeared. The most popular theory is that its appearance was due to something akin to spatial translocalization, but no hard evidence to support this of any theory. Of more importance, however, is positioning and teaching of Septian Church. The tale is clearly different in nature to artifacts and appears to be a more fundamental manifestation of the goddess' power. With the limits of our knowledge at present, this is as far as we can get to the truth. There are some who proposed it may be one of the Septarians, but no evidence has been found in legend or scripture to support this belief. Nevertheless, this question and many others need answering, and the Congregation for the Sacraments continues to sturdy the Salt Pail to this day. The most accepted proposal comes from those who believe the pail should be seen as nothing more than a gift from Adios, and they continue to consider various means for her church to make good use of it. Oh my word. I get it, this is lore, world building, but this is so long. Mostly because I have to read it. The most realistic of these plans is using it in the manufacture of a sacred tool used for execution. Parts of the pail are cut away using high pressure and water, then surrounded with a cylinder made from salt crystal, allowing them to be fired directly into the target without requiring the user to make direct contact. Should the bolt make successful contact with a human target, their whole body would turn to salt, killing them in mere seconds. There are no means for reversing or stopping the process. This approach does not come without its flaws. It seems unwise to be careless with an object we still do not understand the true nature of, for one thing. There are also humanitarian concerns with executing someone in this manner. Dude, when it said, like, this is all we know about the Salt Pail at this point, they should have ended that door, and they should like divide this door into like 3 doors or something. This is a lot. Like, they could have easily divided this into multiple doors. Granted, I don't know how much more is left. Still, it does bear mentioning that should there be a case where a target needs to be eliminated without fail, this would be the most surefire way to carry it out. It should go without saying that research on it is intended to continue in the future. Are we done? My word. Appendix regarding the affirmation sacred tool. Trial use beginning. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there you go. You guys can read it. Target was orphaned by the Salt Pail when it appeared. Brief history of is as follows. Joins the Septian Church. Congregation of Sacraments. Promoted the bishop. Yep. Please stop. My word, that was long. They could have easily like had like they could have divided that into like 2 other doors or something. Maybe have 2 doors for the whole salt pail thing. That felt a little long and drawn out. We're not doing Chloe's door right now because I cannot read for another second. You're probably like, Nova, you're gonna have to read for the story anyway. The story's gonna have more gameplay, so I wanna do some gameplay. I also might stop at 3 hours today because of how much reading we have to do. And also today is just like not Sky 3's fault, but it's been a very rough day for me. I'm just gonna use this team. I don't want to set up another team right now. I came here mostly to heal CP. I want to start exploring the 4th plane. Maybe get another character depending. Dude, how many characters do we even need now? We need Estelle, Agate. Of the original Sky crew, Shara, Crow, or no, why did I say Crow? Am I okay? Agate, Estelle, and Shara, right? It's just them 3? And then we're probably gonna get Annalise. Can't think of anyone else we need. Of who else they're gonna add. I'm pretty sure of the Sky characters, it's just... By Sky characters, I mean like the main crew. It's just Estelle, Sherazard, and Agate, I think. I'm pretty sure. Trying to think. I think it's just them 3. And then we're probably going to get Annalise. I'm not sure if they're going to add characters not in Sky 2, or not playable in Sky 2. Here's the entrance to the next plane. I doubt the pattern will change up now, so yeah. We won't know what kind of place it's going to be until we step inside, though. Wherever we end up, I imagine there'll be plenty of strange fiends waiting for us. Let's make sure we're good to go before we keep going. Yeah, like, there's going to be dialogue here, but it's not going to be as much entrance exam results. 33 of those years, I hated that damn place. He snapped between chewing cuts of lamb. After swallowing, he added, who's gonna run it? I sure ain't. You're no carpenter. Entrance exam results? Why? Why? Oh, this is that cannon that Annalise and Estelle were at when they were training or something? Or maybe it's the forest nearby? Where are we now? Nowhere I've seen before, judging from where I'm standing. Oh my. Oh yeah, this is the cannon. Yeah. Lalocle, I think it was called. This is where Estelle and Annalise did their bracer training. What a beautiful view. Wow, well this is a lot prettier than the last plane at least. This must be another real place that's been recreated here in Phantasma, much like the capital was. Most likely, yes. Just where is it though? Somewhere in Liberl? I doubt it. It's not familiar to me at all. My guess would be somewhere along the Chrome Mountains, but the air suggests otherwise. Oh yeah, Joshua's never been here. Oh. Huh? Only Estelle and Annalise would, like, know this place. Huh? What's this Bracer Guild emblem doing here? Looks like this really isn't a place that exists in Liberl. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any guild facilities like this anywhere in the country. I'm not familiar with any either. Nor am I aware of there being any buildings like this in Calvard. Would you look at that? The answer was right under our noses the whole time. It was. Ah, there's a sign. How convenient. This is Lalocle Training Center. I know that name. Oh, I'm sure Estelle told you about bracer training. Wasn't it the training camp Estelle went to a while back? You know, last year with Annalise. That's the one. It's a guild-owned facility located in Le Mans State. We're probably going to get... Part of me wants to say we're going to get Estelle here, but maybe we'll get Annalise, because I feel like this has more connection to Annalise, because this is like the only time you can play as her in Sky 2. That's the one. It's a guild-owned facility located in Le Mans State. I've never been there myself, though. I've only heard about it from Estelle. So this is Lalocle, huh? I never trained here personally, but it's famous among bracers. That leaves us with yet another problem to solve. Le Mans State is fairly significant distance away from Liberl, after all. Yeah, it is. It's farther away than both Erebonia and Calvard. But, you know, I may not have a clue how a place in Le Mans ended up being created here or why. But if our enemies did it, they must have had a reason for doing so, right? I knew you'd catch on. Oh, hello. Got some enemies? That sounded like. We got company, guys. Oh, hey, guys. Oh, not those enemies. Oh, no. Here comes trouble. I suppose beastmen would be the best term for these things. This is probably what your next destination is, the path the beast was referring to. Another mystery solved. Watch out, there's a lot of them. This could get ugly.